Hello and welcome to the E14 GameCast. I'm your host Rob Wade. With me is Brad Hummer-Barnes.
Hello.
And Blake Hummer.
Games.
Alright. Blake's definitely got the subject matter down to a T. Good times.
Those jingles are coming on really well.
Yeah. So this is episode 10, and what we're going to do is just talk, because this will be going up in sort of later part of the year, just kind of talking about, well, it is the later part of the year already, so there's kind of backed myself into a corner with that one, didn't I? If it's due for March, I've kind of got the cart before the horse and then decorated it with games and stuff. I don't know. I've fucking lost track of this metaphor. Did you say Bruce Willis?
Christmas.
Oh,
Wayne. Close enough. Die Hard.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Best Christmas movie ever. Yeah. So what we're going to do is just talk about the best stuff we've played this year so far, and then if we kind of come up with anything massively different that really kind of wows us in the meantime between now and when it goes live, we can write about it. We can do another podcast later after Christmas. All that
some blog posts on that blog.
That's what I got the tablet for.
Yeah. The big problem is this before the main fall line.
And I was pissed off.
Yeah, we're rounding up what else is coming up before.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Before
I'm just saying the big problem is obviously
before the deluge.
A lot of the big stuff.
Yeah, there'll be deluge of Christmas stuff, so it's a good time of year to kind of. Yeah. So we're recording in the end of September, so it's plenty of time before the deluge, because that starts in sort of mid-October before you start to see stuff.
Mid-October to mid-November is when most stuff drops. Yeah.
And then after sort of third week of November, people start to let it back off so they can do the Christmas promotions and so on. Yeah. Obviously, you get the things like FIFA and stuff that come out a bit earlier, but then they tend to appeal because it's just when the season's just started, which makes sense. But I tend to wait till they come down in price anyway, because as much as I like football games, sorry,
we'd like them. No.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I wait for them to come into a deal of the week, especially digital.
I normally have a football game, but just for a quick kick back around.
I buy them every couple of years intentionally because I know I can pick them up dirt cheap. Like
I'm the same.
Literally the other day I picked up FIFA 14 because it was £6.
I like the idea Owners just burst into tears and doesn't know why.
You seem to like the idea a lot generally.
Well, maybe you should do another Claymore episode.
Well, maybe. It would be good to get into double features. As we've just done with as we're doing now with the GameCast, which is nice.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, and we're glad to have you.
Friend.
Podcast friend. Gaming friend. So these, as before, as we've established before, when it comes to best of lists, these are not necessarily things that were released in the calendar year. They absolutely can be, but they're things we've experienced for the first time in the year that's just gone. Hence why, like I've said before, one of my games of a year was the game that came out the previous year, but I only got to it just after Christmas.
That's cool.
Yeah. Far Cry 3, for those who are wondering.
Yeah.
And Blood Dragon shortly afterwards, because, man, that game's amazing.
Love Blood Dragon.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got a list, because obviously, as we established before, I do keep a list just for my own reference. So at some point, we'll go around the room and I'll talk about, if I can read the fucking things in some cases, we'll talk about what we liked and what sucked, if anything sucked, because sometimes you get lucky.
Yep.
So, Brad, do you want to kick us off? Sorry again, Omer.
Sure. Video games wise, the only video game I've played which is new to me, I think I've mostly done like replays or just carried on stuff from a previous year. The only video game which is 100% new to me this year, which I've really loved, has been Star Wars Uprising.
Okay.
On iOS, which dropped about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, certainly like mid-September it dropped anyway. And it's Star Wars Diablo.
Cool.
And if you don't know why that's awesome, I can't explain that to you.
And if you haven't heard of Diablo, try Star Wars Torchlight. Also,
true.
Also a good one.
It's a Doctor Who spin-off, isn't it?
Why not?
Yeah.
I might play that. Nah, probably not.
Uprising, yeah.
It might be in my backlog though.
Uprising is a game I want to play.
Uprising's on my iPad, but it's...
What I love about it is, I think it was the last GameCast I was on, I said I really didn't want it to be just one of those generic...
Go in, click a few things,
mobile games, and it's you can sit and play it for as long as you like.
Nice. Always good.
And it just drops your level. You shoot some stormtroopers or shoot some generic hut mercenaries. Have a run around.
How do they get around?
Shoot some shit up. Get some level. Get some equipment.
Yeah.
And there's some multiplayer stuff, but I've not really played with that yet. I think you need to get up to X level before you can start doing classes and stuff like that.
So a number, that's tricky.
Yeah.
It's about 10.
Yeah.
It's Roman.
It's just so much fun. The story mode has been great to play. There's been very little grinding. I mean, a couple of sometimes
Only you on the iPad.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this game.
Sometimes
Somebody's going to be using the word.
Sometimes the
Facebook,
story mode. Sometimes the story mode's locked out. Like you need to be level 27.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And I'm like 26 and a bit, so I just do some couple
does a bit of that.
of side quests and you're up.
Yeah.
It's really well placed. I mean, I thought it was going to be a money pit, and they just seem to have treated it as just marketing for episode 7.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I carry on, I enjoy it. I find
well worth nothing.
Yeah,
sometimes I don't
worth the time.
Yeah.
Or anything. Yeah.
I don't mind grinding in a game if I think it's worthwhile, or grinding a Brad's iPad. But yeah,
Ruining my Christmas pudding.
go back to another podcast.
Which might get published last.
Crazy vagaries of editing.
Yeah,
Crazy, forgotten how the calendar works.
yeah.
I think there are months.
Crazy, except it's a GamesCast.
Game here, not crazy true. Pull the communication controller cord.
Yeah, on a completely unrelated note, i.e. what I was saying.
Yeah. Wow! Fucking gloves off. Playing Fight Night.
I was reloading, sorry.
Yeah. Playing some UFC.
Fuck's sake.
Do you want to? I can talk about a mobile game I've been enjoying if you want to regain the thread.
No, I'm alright. No, I don't mind grinding. The only time I didn't like it was when I was playing Destiny.
Okay.
I actually ended up getting bored of Destiny because I realised literally I was gaining nothing from it.
Okay.
Because I was taking all this
You're
time.
doing grinding wrong then.
Yeah.
No. I was playing through it. I was getting better armour and better weapons, and I understood why I was doing it. But then I realised that the only reason I was doing it was to get a bigger gun to fight the same monsters over and over again. They were always in the same place on every single mission.
Yeah, that's one of those things.
And that's when I was like,
Destiny.
why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And that was the moment I went, why am I doing this? That's when the moment I went, no, split it out, traded it in.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I just, I didn't even bother with the DLC. I'm
I
sure
think
the
you play
DLC has added
any
to
game
it.
and say, why am I doing this? It's time to stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
I find that I've heard good things about the Destiny DLC. It's very much.
Oh, yeah, I just refuse to pay,
It's used,
what, 80 quid for it.
It's used the buzz phrase I hate, which is the game it should have been, because it's very kind of dismissive and condescending of game development, which is incredibly hard and incredibly expensive.
But it's a lot. It had to have grabbed me
good.
more than that to have kept me playing that long for
That's-
the DLC.
that's fine.
If
That's
most
your thing.
games can't keep me playing long enough for the DLC to come out.
Well, my thing is like I've got such a big backlog still to get through, even though I've made some headway at chipping away at it. Hence why I keep the list, which is to kind of force me to beat.
I mean, I love Bloodborne, and they've announced DLC is coming out for
They
that.
have.
But I've since beaten it, seen all the different endings, and I'm like, I'm done with it. You know, so I don't, and I traded it in. Like I said, I don't feel the need to. I'm not now going to rebuy the game just so I can buy the DLC.
I might rebuy Sleeping Dogs just because I want to play it again.
Yeah, that's a good game.
That is a great game.
Yeah,
That's the game GTA 4 should have been.
I would have liked to see that more of that tack.
GTA 5 was GTA 4 should have been.
Sleeping Dogs was what GTA 4 should have been.
All right. Well, we can argue about
If
what
anything,
GTA 4.
GTA 5 is a game of Sleeping Dogs. No.
Yeah. If there's one thing we can
to
agree
be
on,
fair, they're different enough.
If anyone's
like
sleeping
that.
and it's a dog, it should have been GTA 4.
if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that GTA 4 wasn't as good as we were hoping.
Yeah. And Sleeping Dogs to GTA 5.
Well, I've just used that fucking phrase I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that we all didn't like GTA 4 as much as we were hoping we would.
Yeah, we all tried to like it.
Pretty
but
much,
didn't
Yeah.
like
It's perfectly fine. It's just not.
Yeah.
It didn't. I found with GTA 4 compared to other GTA games, I didn't get that point early on where I was like, "This is going to grip me. This is going to make
I
me
like
play
this
forever."
character
Yeah.
more than anything.
Well, no, I mean, like I've always found the GTA characters to be kind of cardboardy in terms of development. Like the first one who really had any personality to me was CJ in San Andreas, but that's actually my least favourite game because of how much micromanaging you had to do.
I would say GTA 4 is the most micromanaging.
No,
San Andreas
I
overrated.
totally disagree. It's like you know, you're going like, okay, I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Go for a jog.
I've got to go for a jog because my muscle's going to go, my fitness is going to go down, or I've got I've got to.
Maybe I was just always
hungry.
permanently super punched because I was too busy lamping people and building up my strength that way.
By
Yeah, but
people,
even
I'm
then.
pretty sure you mean prostitutes, don't you?
Yeah. Who are
Oh, this
still
bat
people.
is building up my strength as I'm
Yeah.
wailing on this dead prostitute.
Gamecast legal disclaimer: prostitutes are still people.
Not in video games.
No video games. We all enjoy a good prostitute murder on the screen.
Yeah. Got a new podcast.
No, we do just about GameCast. It's fine. We're just
Game
an
Air
episode.
talking about the prostitute death card.
Yeah, Game Air talking about sociopathy.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, in terms of, I was going to mention a mobile game that I've been playing a lot, which I quite like. I've been playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, which is quite fun. I like the sort of match 3 puzzles, and it's got Marvel characters, and I quite, every now and then I find my attention flagging them, and I sort of get a random draw, and it's somebody really cool, like, you know, Doctor Doom, or really powerful.
Okay, yeah, I did play it for a little while.
Yeah, I'm also playing one that's kind of fun and a bit of a fuck around game called Adventure Capitalist.
Okay.
And it's just one of those games that's like, you know, it's about tapping to like generate wealth, and then you hire a manager to do that so that you can open up some other venture and start tapping that, and then hire a manager, and then and it just gets ludicrously over the top. But it's all kind of, it's just kind of quite fun, and
Sim pyramid scheme.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah,
like even just kind of sim hedge fund. Yeah, just this
theme
huge
scheme.
This theme scheme. I like that. So in terms of mobile stuff, that's what I tend to play the most. I tend to dip into other games. Like we talked just before we recorded about a game called Wrestling Revolution, which is hilarious in how broken it is. And it just makes for some ridiculous, like really weird, ridiculous moments. Like
Surgeon Simulator Smackdown.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of describing it, actually. And it, like I say, if anybody has a chance to download it, like on an iPad or I think it's on Android as well.
I've played it on my Kindle, so it's,
definitely do so because it's so funny. Like I'd say, it's not, you know, it is kind of, it's just got some really weird bugs that are just really kind of entertaining, and it's not, you know, it's not a terrible game. It's just,
it's fine for what it is.
Yeah, it just has some hilarious.
It reminds me of stuff like Warzone.
Yeah, but it's,
No Mercy,
it's very arcadey in that respect.
Yeah, it's very
but
arcadey.
Like I say, but just with some spectacular bugs.
Yeah.
Much like a Bethesda game, but just without the budget at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Skunk.
Yes. Any other video games you kind of...
I played one called Nidhogg a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just fucking obsessed with that game. It's a fencing combat game.
Yeah.
I played it on PS4, other formats may be available, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah,
it must be.
It's an indie game, so it was on PC originally.
Oh, okay.
It is.
It's in pixel art.
I believe it is on PS3 and Vita as well as a cross-buy.
Yeah.
It was, and it's just so much fun with the epic sword duels you can get.
Yeah, it's like an Errol Flynn simulator.
Yeah, it really is. It's just so much fun.
He's supposedly able to get up on the chandelier, but I've never been able to do it.
I've only ever seen it, but that's because there's a special mode where you can have like a sudden death if the timer runs out.
Right.
You can have a timer that then goes to sudden death, and the sudden death is on top of the chandelier.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Let's go play it now.
It needs Duel of the only thing it needs, Duel of the Fates.
Yes.
That'd be great. Or like
it's a bit of stupid shit like the boomerang swords or swords like this.
Just
fun.
being able to tweak it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Rocket League where you can sort of, you know...
Yeah, if you could tweak like the momentum and the gravity and stuff, that could be a lot of fun.
There's not so much that stuff, but it's like you can just make your card do ridiculous shit visually. So you can have it like blaring a siren, and it will fire out dollar bills as you're driving around. It's just crazy shit that you can do to sort of make your card look a bit different from the others. And it's
all about the money.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Blake, video games. Vidjima games. Games about games on video. VHS games.
What have I been? What I've been playing recently? I've been playing. Well, after recently finally picking up an Xbox One, I've been playing some of the.
Lol faggot.
I've had a PS4 for longer.
Xbox One first, faggot.
Yeah.
Lagger. Embrace the contractions.
Yeah. It's basically a faggot who's been slowed down.
Yeah. A game that we've been playing the most recent Metal Gear, so Phantom Pain.
Yep.
I haven't played.
I was going to say, by the time this comes out, fucking 8.
Yeah. I haven't played loads of it, but what I've played, I've really liked.
I've heard
it might be that I am quite shit at it. But then again, from what people have seen me playing it, maybe I'm not as bad as that to me.
I've heard really good things.
It's great, but it is the idea of doing a perfect stealth one is actually very hard to do.
Yeah, I've just picked up a copy because I had some vouchers for unnamed second-hand retailer, and I couldn't find anything else to spend it on, so I bought Metal Gear.
Okay,
just bought that, but I just bought it the weekend.
That was the first game series I actively hated.
Really?
I can't stand Metal Gear games.
What is it about it you don't like?
I just find them tedious.
Okay. I know you're not a big stealth.
I hate stealth gaming.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that was a stealth game
Yeah.
as it was that after that came out, every game had a stealth bit in it.
Right.
And I hated that.
Yeah.
And the incessantly interminable dialogue.
There's a lot of it.
Oh, you're like fine.
The dialogue, it's not even, it's long. It is that it's long, but it's also that it's turds as well. And I just find the whole thing really, really boring.
Yeah. You'll be pleased to know as well that it's the whole mercenary group's called the Diamond Dogs, isn't it? Because Kojima's a massive Bowie fan.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, actually, the opening song in the game is "Man Who Sold the World."
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yes. And you can have it. You can have the little helicopter that drops you in and drops stuff off, play music, something as well. Rebel Yell, Rebel Yell, and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's meant to be set in the alternate 80s.
Yes.
Universe,
Where they still wrote all the pop hits.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, I was riding on a horse, the Kids of America.
I thought you'd have Magic Dance or something.
Yeah, Laughing Gnome.
Yeah.
We sort of find them on the field, all the different music codes. I haven't found them, but apparently you can get stuff like Final Countdown and stuff like that.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, because what we need is more Europe. Sorry, I found out Farage, sorry.
Yeah.
That's just what we need. More Europe.
Yes, I've been playing that.
Legal disclaimers, I may or may not care about Europe.
I've started...
The land and the concept.
Or Farage.
Yeah.
I've started the new the Order 1866 as well.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's where all the Jedi were killed, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
It's the
By vampire hunters.
It's an alright cover based shooter. I can
well.
see why some people panned it a bit, but I
Yeah.
don't think at the same time I don't think it's as bad as everyone made it out to be.
I'm sure it's not. In fact,
I enjoy it for what it is.
In fact, look forward to what's the word? A returning feature on E14, which I started doing once and got sidelined. Where I would go to games and now TV series and films after the hype died down and revisit them with a kind of complete sort of not a completely clean slate, because obviously I'm conscious of the hype when something is released. But I mean, a perfect example is when I ended up finally playing Duke Nukem Forever. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was very good, but it was fine. Perfectly reasonable game, and I finished it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't good, it wasn't great, it's not something I stick with me for the rest of the time as one of my seminal gameplay experiences. But the point is, I didn't think it was a fucking atrocious, unplayable mess like some journalists seem to.
It was a bit like Colonial Marines. Yes, that did have numerous bugs and was...
See, I never experienced
horrible plot holes. Oh, I did.
I didn't experience the bugs they were experiencing.
I had a few. I didn't have as many as
I don't know if it's
the same.
console specific, maybe. Should have bought a PS3 faggot. I don't know.
I didn't. No, I played it on PC. I didn't have as many flaws in it.
Yeah.
I would have been very upset if I'd paid full price for it. So maybe that's why there was a lot of these.
I saw it for £2 in game the other day, and that was still more than I was willing to pay for it.
Fair enough.
I
think they
bought
make
it.
you angry.
I think it will bug me because I'm more of an Aliens fan than I am a gamer.
Yeah.
I think from what I understand, it will make me actively
It's
angry.
one of those things that would make you angry, and you would hate yourself for being angry about it, but it still wouldn't change that you were angry about it. You know the kind of thing I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
The lizard brain thing.
Yeah.
I think as a game, like ignoring the obviously plot holes in the plot.
Yeah, that's where they tend to be.
They are. I wouldn't pay any more than, I don't know. I'd say no more than a £5.
Okay.
But I mean, I paid £3.74. If I'd paid more than a £5, I'd have been about.
I'd have paid I don't know. I suppose my barrier to entry is different to yours at the same time, but I mean, I would probably have said up to a tenner would be kind of the limit.
I would have been okay. Yeah, I might not have been as. But I mean, yeah, I'd have gone.
You would have been like, oh, this is a bit naff.
Yeah, I'd have been a bit more now. Paying £3.74 with it, I would like it's okay.
Yeah.
And I was fine, and I didn't feel cheated out of £3.74 because
I
I thought I could buy a pint for that.
I think that's what it was for me. Was £2. I was like, I could just get an oven pizza and watch the Blu-ray.
Yeah. And if it depending on the offer, you might be able to get 2 pieces.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They might not be as good quality, but that's sort of the point.
But still, they're still better quality than Aliens.
Yeah. What else?
Oh,
in terms of like, what's I mean,
I've been playing lots of bits and bobs of games recently. I mean, I've been playing Rare Replay. I've recently completed Cameo.
I like Rare
Replay.
Replay. Rare Replay's good.
Cameo was an alright.
A lot of those games
adventure.
Graphically haven't dated at all well, but they're still fun. Like Blast Core is great fun, just very
that's
retarded.
stupid, though.
Yeah, it's just retarded as a concept. It's like drive around these buildings to smash them down so the truck can get around. It's like, you know what roads are for, right? This petrol tanker shouldn't have to go off road for this shit. Something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, it's a silly game, but it knows what it is.
It is a silly game, yeah, and it knows it. Again, it knows it's a silly game, yeah. The only thing that's disappointing is there's obviously no GoldenEye on it for obvious reasons. But I did play last year.
That's the only one that's missing, isn't
it? Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's not there.
Oh, okay.
For obvious reasons, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's just a little bit disappointing as well. But I mean, the main good ones are there, like Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie and stuff are still there.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
And Viva Pinata, which is dark as fuck. I'm amazed people think that's a kid's game. You just run a fucking gulag. It's terrifying.
I still haven't played that yet. That's on my to-do list.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
Oh, obviously owning where
once you started to notice the darkness behind the the cutesy exterior, you'd be like, this is incredible.
What's it called?
Viva Pinata.
Okay.
So it's just like a really cartoony game where you run a garden and the animals are
we
pinatas.
mentioned it on the last episode.
I think we talked about it briefly, yeah. The animals are pinatas. And the bit about it that always gets me is they're not picky about which of the people in the garden, which of the animals in the garden they breed with, so you can make them just fuck their great uncles.
Oh, okay.
Or great grandparents or something.
More backward.
Yeah, basically they're just
wonderful.
Yeah, there is actually a pinata that you can breed by inbreeding.
Oh,
and it's like a wonky duck or something that just kind of walks in. And it's just one of those things. It's a rare sense of humour thing. They just put in an inbred duck as a thing that you can get by inbreeding pinatas.
Okay.
It's like a mutant thing. And the other thing is that if you smash them to pieces, they kick out sweets, and all the other pinatas eat them. So it's cannibalism as well. It's all a bit scarily wonderful.
Okay.
Like I say, the game itself is really quite engaging, but it's just when you start to realise if you do that, you can do that with any game. I mean, once you realise that Minecraft is basically just a blueprint for fucking colonialism, it's all a bit. You turn up on a strange land and kill all the local wildlife to build houses. It's all a bit. You can make anything grim.
Including LA1.
Yeah, and occasionally in Doom you run out of bullets. That's depressing. The rest of it's awesome though. So what in terms of what you played that's good, because I mean the whole point of us getting sort of together for this one was what's been the highlights of your year, and you mainly talked about stuff you kind of just started playing and dipping into and out.
Yeah, I suppose
sort of
if I was talking about my best games,
glad you read the brief.
Well, no, you said how do you video game, and I thought I lost the train of thought, and I think you did as well.
You went off the rails, not here.
Right. If I was to say games that I've particularly, best games I've played this year, I'd have to say, not that anything's really well and truly blown me away. I would say the new Metal Gear is very good, so I would recommend that. Okay. I would also say Bloodborne is spectacular.
I must say, actually, as much as I'm not a Dark Souls fan, when I played Bloodborne around here, I actually had a really good time playing it. It was
bar its difficulty level, there is not a part wrong with that game that I can fault.
No, like I said,
it plays perfectly. Every time I die, it's because of my hamstring fingers, basically.
Stupid, cursed, gimpy hands!
Yeah.
Just lob a dual shot for them.
Monkey hands. But,
you maniacs.
But I would say they were actually my two best games that I've played so far. That's cool. I can't think of anything else that's truly blown me away this year, to be honest.
I have a list here. It looks like I've completed 23 games to date this year, which I think is quite a good number.
Yeah, it's 2 months.
Yeah, that's similar to me, I think.
I think I do seem to be counting episodic games because and the logic is, I suppose, in theory, I could play like the Telltale Game of Thrones games, stop at episode 2 and not play the rest, and I've still completed 2 chapters.
Okay.
I suppose that's the logic.
I'm waiting until I finish the whole thing before I count mine.
Okay.
I mean, I am playing through Wolf Among Us and Telltale.
How are you finding Wolf Among Us?
Wolf Among Us, I've only done 2 episodes so far.
I love that game.
So I love that series. Although I know little bits about it.
It was so good that I started reading Fables.
But what I've done of it, I've really, really liked it. Yeah. Not that I've read Fables, so I know I'm probably going like, oh my god, this is sacrilegious because you don't know the comics. But I've gone
Catch Fire.
Pretty much. It feels like it reminds me a bit of Grimm, the TV show.
Yeah, I think it's kind of inspired by similar themes.
That sort of thing, and I'm really liking it. I quite enjoy the sense of humour in it is good, and obviously the noir-y type feel as well.
Yes,
I can see that's why it grabbed you.
The whole point of it being an adventure game featuring a detective is That's probably one of the reasons.
Tales from the Borderlands. Again, I've only done 2 episodes. I need to do the other 2.
I need to start. I've got the first episode. I need to play
that is brilliant. But then again, I love the humour of Borderlands, so that's why I've really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they've been knocking it out of the park recently in terms of their episodic stuff, because Game of Thrones is also very well done in terms of being true to it's based on the TV series. Mm-hmm. In terms of the likenesses of the characters and stuff, and it does kind of leave you at the end of every episode just going, "Oh, come on!" Because you think you're doing really well, and then it's just like, "Nope, fuck you, sword somewhere."
Walking Dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
I played the first 2-3 episodes of the first Walking Dead series, and I really need to catch up because it's fucking outstanding.
It's excellent. Yeah. I've just found out if you're
There's loads of those fuck moments.
Yeah, it's just oh come on, that's
just
not
kill
fair.
his character off halfway through an episode.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah. It's just like and choose. Oh, you remember you love both those characters and have developed a deep personal relationship with both?
It was so good.
Yeah. Do you really feel like you could stand to lose one?
Yeah.
Well, tough. You got 4 seconds to decide.
I played that Life and Level with now my wife, and it was like our character was schizophrenic as a result.
Yeah.
So it was just like my character when I played, it was like, no, let's just try and keep a calm and level head, and my wife's just bashing people's brains in with televisions and kicking them in the ghoulies, and
slapping a child in the face.
Yeah, basically. So it's just like you would no way you would trust that now with a small child.
It's like, who am I going to give the food to? I guess it should go to the children. She walks up, slaps me straight across the face.
Biscuit out of their mouth.
Nah, food. Keep it for myself.
I love these tin peaches. Okay, so like I say, in terms of games I've finished, there was 23 on the list. I'm just going to have a quick look and see which ones I liked of those. I mean, for the most part, actually, looking at this, it's been a pretty bloody good year in terms of stuff I've completed. I'm going to give honourable mentions to certain ones, because certain ones I thought were really good for various reasons. I found Sunset Overdrive really fun.
Okay.
But it was a point where I had to start turning the sound off, because it did kind of grate on me, because they were doing like that. They're doing that thing that they do in games when they want to sound trendy. They try too hard and end up sounding square and out of touch. Yeah, which I wonder if it's sort of sometimes half the point. But it got to me after a while.
I think it's meant to be.
Is it like when 90s thriller films tried to reference the internet?
Yes, exactly like
You're going to have to go into deep internet on this one. Yes. Maybe we left a back door for the passkey.
Yeah, just type upload virus, that should do it. And then don't forget to hit enter, we're on a Unix terminal.
Yeah.
On the subject, actually, have you read Jurassic Park?
Oh, a long time ago, but I have, yeah.
So where did they suddenly get the bit where she's a computer whiz kid? Because they just seem to have shoehorned that into the film, because it's not in the book.
Again, I think it was a bit of that 90s...
Yeah.
Yes. These kids seem to be talking about these interwebs. Maybe we should work those into the scriptomobile.
But I bet you anything, a 10-year-old girl who all she seems to do is do a scared face for half the fucking film is... I doubt very much she's tinkering with command line Unix-based systems. It's just call it a hunch, because I barely tinker with those, and it's my fucking job.
If it makes you feel better, her most recent credits include shonky sci-fi movie Battle Dogs.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I'm not saying she shouldn't get work. I'm just saying that maybe the scriptwriter should have taken a long, hard look and gone, really?
Yeah.
Unix? Really?
Unix have stumped up some money. Fine.
Didn't use the interwebs.
I see Windows. Well, of course you do. It's a park made of glass. Yeah. Never mind.
Never mind. Bought an Xbox One, faggot.
What's an Xbox?
No idea. Alright, so like I said, the Game of Thrones games are really good. I really liked Contrast. I played Contrast this year. That's good. Okay. Have you seen that one? It's like it's hard to explain.
It's a puzzle game, like platformer, but you sort of can... Your special abilities you can blend into shadowy areas, so you move objects around and then you turn into your shadow form and you sort of jump through the light.
Okay, okay. Well, but it's set in a kind of like a 20s noir setting, isn't it? Like
in Paris.
In Paris, it's all kind of, and you're following around this little girl who's watching her parents.
Right. Is this the right podcast for this?
Yeah,
I think we have again. I think we mentioned it last episode as well.
Maybe, yeah. Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
Oh, I did that last year.
Love that game.
I think that would give me similar aliens.
Again, I think that was similar to that, but the
Maybe-
difference between Colonial Marines and Shadow of Mordor is Shadow of Mordor was a bloody good game.
Yeah, it also doesn't, as far as I can see, it doesn't overwrite any of the previous canon.
No, it's just
tacks on.
No, I from what I know of the story, it doesn't. If you've just seen the films, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you've read Silmarillion, it'll make your eye twitch.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
That's the thing. I haven't read Silmarillion. Shocking.
No, I started reading it.
Brad's told me bits of it, and when I was playing it, I was going, "That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right."
I started reading.
steps, Dad.
But then again, I didn't care
it.
because I was decapitating
Yeah,
orcs.
The Nemesis system in that game works so fucking well as well. Have you seen that stuff?
No, but I've been on the roller coaster of the same name.
No, it's not quite the same. There's a slight difference in the Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor. I can't believe I'm having to do this shit.
You keep your legs in on the Nemesis.
There's that, yeah. Wah. That's topical now, but by the time this goes live,
I don't think it's even topical now. It's a few months old.
this is also true, and also the wrong rides, but never mind.
Yeah.
So in the Nemesis, the way the Nemesis system works is every time you're killed in the game, because you're a wraith, so you can come back from the dead. Every time you're killed, the orc that kills you has the potential to go up in the hierarchy.
Oh, okay.
And they all have like points of like leadership, and they kind of fight with each other to try and take territories and stuff.
They can become warlords. So
They
you
can
can
become
kill
warlords.
key people if you want someone to become a warlord.
Yeah,
that's
and you
nice.
can actually manipulate if you want a particular person because they're
Have
kind
a
of
power
weak.
struggle and
You
stuff
can
like
actually kind of drop in on their fights, kill the other bloke so that he gets up to power even though he's not very strong, and then he's a piece of piss warlord when you come to actually take him on later
I
on.
like that.
And they also gain traits and weaknesses as they get more powerful. So
like
they
some
might
are weak
be,
at a fire and something.
yeah, some of them might be fire might piss them off, fire might upset, fire might scare them, fire might embolden them. And different things, like they might be afraid of the dog type things. I can't remember the fucking name of them. That's the one. Caragors, yeah. They might be afraid of them. They might be angry. They might fight them out of principle. They might want them all
They're
dead.
essentially wild.
Yeah. But it's really, and later on, you can start to mind control some of them as well. So you can start to place your own, like almost like your own council of warlords in certain positions that are all under your control. So you can start to kind of use them as allies against the bigger ones and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
The actual plot is you turn them against each
yeah,
other.
and it actually just works really fucking well. You know, it's one of those systems where it's like this could fall flat on its ass. And then we played it a year ago, and I was like, this actually. When she was explaining it to me, I was like, if this works, this is fucking genius.
Yeah.
And it actually does entirely work.
Yeah,
It's
brilliant,
definitely one I'd
In fact, the only
play.
game I've traded in and felt sad, and I might actually be buying.
Fair enough. Valiant Hearts: The Great War,
Oh.
right in the fucking feels. Like,
Actually, yeah, I think that was the game I did this year. That one actually
Yeah.
might be my one.
Yeah, I've already recommended it to me by a lot of people.
You would, I think,
Or maybe I played it at the end of last year actually, because I think I did put it in my article as one of my best games actually.
I think you might be right. Actually, yeah, that's
That is one of my favourite.
article
One
on
of my favourite indie
Origins14.com.
games of last year.
Probably around January.
I might pick up an iPad. But
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, it'll play fine on iPad. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a.
One of the things I really liked about that game is the bit, like the bits where they're being in a vehicle, being chased or being attacked or something, and it's all timed to music, and it's all like you move in time to the music. I love games where they do that well.
Yeah, it's like
there's
you're dodging shells, but it's in time to music too.
Yeah, but it's in time to like Hungarian Dance Number 5 or something like that.
Okay.
It's just like bang, 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 da, 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 bang, bang, bang.
okay.
That's Hungarian Dance Number 5. If you've never heard it.
With bangs.
And there's a Rayman level as well where they do it to Black Betty, so he jumps to like.
Oh yeah, Rayman Legends.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Yeah.
it's just really. I love when games do that. It's just a really nice little touch.
Yeah.
Mafia 2 is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I played that.
fun.
I finished. I think I started that last year and finally finished it this
I was
year.
saying you're playing a lot of games that I seem to have beat last year.
Or maybe I just influenced by you and I'm afraid to admit it, bloke.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just don't get to games as quickly as you do. Either of these are possible, and let's be fair, both are likely. But yeah, that one's really good. Again, that's the one I think you'd probably like. It's just a really cool kind of. It's a bit like a GTA type thing, but it's set in.
I tried one of the Yakuza games and couldn't get on with it.
Yeah, the Mafia games they go
Mafia is
through.
more like GTA than
okay,
more like
cool.
straight GTA in terms of like driving around.
But it is
and
like 50s.
getting in fights,
Okay, cool.
gunfights and stuff.
So I think I bought Yakuza because I like sleeping dogs. It was just like,
this is not the same.
This is the most tedious shit I've ever played.
And I found the controls of Yakuza games, especially on the PlayStation.
I remember we've had this conversation before. You were they bothered me, but not as much as they bothered you.
Oh, they were just for me. I have very little patience for games where the controls don't feel right.
Yeah,
and if it just doesn't gel, or if it's just fiddly, it has the potential to piss me off really.
X isn't accelerate.
Well, yeah, right trigger on the modern consoles.
Yeah,
but yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm old school in it.
Well, yeah, this is true. Uncharted 3. That's pretty good. Probably not the strongest.
I prefer the sequel.
I think second one is probably the strongest one of the
I've
three.
got the second one in my pile. I've not played it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
They're all good games.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the first one.
There is not a bad Uncharted.
Wolfenstein: The New Order. I fucking love that game.
I'd like to play the new Wolfenstein stuff actually.
God, it's so much fun. It's one of those games that doesn't do anything particularly new. It just does it all well.
Oh, Halo.
You know? Yeah, pretty much. Watch Dogs. I actually really like that. Despite the fact it's like that's one of those ones
it was
slated
yeah,
at the time.
I think that's the one that's perfectly fine to look back after the hype because the hype was what I was disappointed playing it.
Yeah.
If I was to just if someone said, "Oh, it's an alright game, you should play it,"
yeah,
and I played it without any prior knowledge of it, I would have really enjoyed it. And
I went to it after a while after it came out, and I really had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I just felt like I played it, but after all the promises and all the build-up of what it could have been,
that's the thing, isn't it?
It just didn't meet up to that expectation.
Yeah,
that was the problem with it.
I'm going to skip that one because it was good, but not that good. Infamous 2, that was pretty cool.
Great game.
I mean,
I think personally the best Infamous. Actually.
Games like that, I think I'm starting to notice that I tend to enjoy those more when I leave a big enough gap between playing the first and second one. So I've just started playing Arkham Origins, the third Batman game. So obviously there are 4 now. I've just started playing the third one, and it's been so long since I played a Batman game that it still all feels a bit fresh to me, even though it is more.
Oh damn! Yeah, Arkham Knight. I forgot about that.
You finished Arkham Knight.
That is good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
That's actually up there with one of the best.
I've done the first 2; they were enjoyable.
They are good. Yeah, the third one is more of the same, but it's still perfectly good.
Asylum was better than City.
Okay. Yeah, there's bits of it I think are better, but I think overall I just
if you like it as a self-contained thing,
control-wise and stuff.
If you like it as a self-contained thing,
yeah,
Asylum is probably the best one.
Yeah.
In terms of a game built on scale and as a roaming thing where you feel like Batman and more thing, yeah, I'd say City was probably the better one.
I think the gameplay-wise, the second one probably tweaked it up and made it a bit
tidier.
I think it was the concept. I like Asylum for me worked better as a concept.
Okay,
I could buy the idea of the lunatics have taken over the asylum more than I could. The government has funded an entire city for the lunatics to live in, and now they've taken over.
Yeah, I understand.
Don't worry. 4 is purely.
We've given them a state.
Arkham Origins. And
we've just decided we're mad too.
Arkham
Origins and Arkham Knight.
Everyone's mad except the millionaire dressed as a bat.
Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight.
The who? No,
are purely set in Gotham. Arkham Knight gets around the fact that there are no civilians because the idea that Arkham Knight is set around the fact that there's been a bomb threat from the Scarecrow saying he's going to unleash a whole toxin to take out the thing. So everyone's evacuated except the looters and criminals. And
Scarecrow's one of the few DC characters I really like, so I might give that a spin.
I think actually he's one of the ones they've just nailed to the absolute point.
The Scarecrow bit in
Scarecrow
is one of my favourite gaming experiences ever.
Yeah, I think that's...
Well, Scarecrow's the main protagonist, bad guy in Arkham Knight.
Cool, sold.
Yeah.
Obviously seeing if they killed off the other one.
Team up with Judge Definitely on to
spoilers.
Douche.
Yeah, I think I stick with magazines on this one. Is that a spoiler for a game that was released several years ago? Isn't really.
It's been long enough.
It's a bit like when someone. I remember
and
someone
also,
writing into
I really think it's fair to say if you're talking superheroes, it's fairly safe to assume that dead doesn't mean dead.
Yeah, true, and also barely canon anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially video games based on superhero things. Because on the similar note, Lego Marvel, I don't think any of that's canon. Good fun.
No, I do want to play that one.
It's good.
I want to buy Jurassic World.
Few levels of it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I want to get Jurassic World as well.
Yeah, I've heard that's good. What else we
got? Star Lord in it.
Apparently.
In Lego Marvel. Oh right, no, I don't know.
Well, you play as Chris. I think you can play as Chris Pratt in.
No, as Star-Lord.
In Jurassic World. Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, they've done Harrison Ford in. They did Han Solo and Indiana Jones and vice versa.
Yep.
Right, what else we got? Lego City on the subject on Wii U was good fun.
Okay.
Did get to the point where I was like, I finished the story and I don't think I'm going to play the rest of it because there's like, you know how most Lego games have got like 100 bricks to find, 100 gold bricks.
I've never
100%ed a Lego game.
450 around Lego City
for anything. So.
Yeah, I've completed 100% on Pirates of the Caribbean, so I really liked that one. Harry Potter 1. I think that might be it. And I've done loads of Lego Batman.
Harry Potter's one of those I didn't get on with.
I quite liked it, but
again, I'm not a massive Harry Potter. I enjoy. I still think the Star Wars one.
I've been quite bad.
Star Wars ones are great. Yeah.
The Batman one was great.
I liked the first Batman one all right. I think
Pirates was okay.
I liked Pirates.
I really like Marvel. Also the Lego games.
Yeah.
Actually, Lego Star Wars 3 was a bit wank.
Yeah,
bar the first two Lego Star Wars and Lego Indiana Jones, I don't think I've actually completed a Lego game.
Oh, really?
Then.
Okay.
If
you want, there's numbers.
Because I mean, I played the first Lego Batman. Because I mean, these are games I play with Kat, and I think if we just don't get around to playing them when she's not in the mood for them, then otherwise they just don't get played.
Yeah, that's really one of it.
So that's what I mean. Pirates of the Caribbean, we went, we must go back to that. So yeah, got about halfway through it and then stopped. Same with Batman, same with Harry Potter. And I think the only one, I have Lord of the Rings, never even started it.
It's long.
I finished it. I finished the story and then
I think I finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you forget to the bit where it ends? Because that's not the end. See, also the movies.
Yeah. I think I completely. I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, I think
I bought it on.
I
bought it on PS3 cheap, and I never played it.
Spoilers towards the end.
If the Eagles had fucking pulled their weight, it wouldn't be. What else we got? Oh yeah, this is when I started getting into. I basically started going through and clearing out my backlog of those kind of indie games that you download as part of your PlayStation Plus membership, and I really liked the Unfinished Swan.
That's a great game.
I
did that this year.
Very short, but I thought it was the right length.
Part of me was like, it's over, but then part of me was like, actually, if it banged up much longer, I think I
thought it was clever actually because, there's a whole run. There's a run of these things. They're called walking simulators by the most derisive ones like Dear Esther and things like that. And they have their merits. I mean, like Dear Esther's stunning visually.
Kat really wants me to get Everybody's Gone to the Rapture because she keeps seeing videos of it. And
that visually it looks stunning. And I've heard it's kind of all right, but
I don't know if it would do my head in. That's the only.
It will probably do your head in because you'll be like, I need to interact with something, and you can't.
Yeah,
because they're not those kind of games.
Well, someone said it's one of those ones. It's better to stick to the plot and don't go wandering off.
Yeah, pretty much because it just frustrates you because nothing happens out of it as far as I understand it. So I started playing those, and Unfinished Swan, I like it because it's not just about walking around. Because you also need to. You basically the idea is that you're flicking out ink onto a blank page. And when it hits a wall, it will sort of lay. So you map out your level by flicking the ink around, so you know where to go. So it's got a little bit of a puzzle thing because I can't work out where to go. There's a blank space there. There's a door through there.
Yeah, because when you start off, everything's white.
It took me about 5 minutes.
Later in the game, more and more things are naturally filled in, and you're just doing them for other parts of the puzzle.
And there's bits that are actually quite scary as well.
I like the spiders.
Yes, the spiders that if you stray too far from a light source, the screen starts to sort of go dark around you, and then you start taking damage. Things like that. It can be quite sort of jarring. The other one I played was Rain, which I actually really liked. You played Rain?
No, again in my part. I think I bought that actually before I got it for free.
Oh, okay.
And I still haven't played it. So
yeah, that one's just like it's hard to explain, like a puzzle platformer.
It's made by the same people as Tokyo.
Very slow paced. Yeah, it's very slow paced, but it has bits where you have to run and stuff. And it's all about this little boy who sees a little girl who's just appears in the rain.
They're both invisible, aren't they?
Not at first. So basically, he sees.
I'm only going by trailers.
This little boy is looking out of his window at night in the rain, and he sees this little girl kind of cast in, like the rain sort of casts a shape of her, and then she starts getting chased by this weird monster. So he runs out after her, and as he goes through this door, he turns into one of these rain kids as well. Okay. And as he's running, so he's trying to hide from these monsters. And for example, he can move through. if there's like a top above their heads, he can move through it and you can only see his footsteps. So they can hide behind those and wait till they've passed and things like that. So it's got sort of stealth, but not quite, because it's more about just knowing where to put yourself at a particular time. Not stealth in the traditional sense of like, I've got to anticipate moves, because they always move in the same way and stuff. But it's just, it's very, they're all kind of a bit artsy, but I just kind of find them quite enjoyable.
Some game I started playing, you played as a ghost.
Alright.
Soul Suspect.
Oh, Murdered Soul Suspect,
yeah.
That's alright.
I couldn't get on. I found I struggled with it. I enjoyed it. I was playing it, but I found that I wasn't often motivated to pick it back up again.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was the other ghosts I met. They really annoyed me.
Oh, they are the worst part.
They don't need it.
It was unnecessary.
I've got to go and solve my murder. Well, I've been here for ages. Can you help me?
Oh, that.
Certainly, lady. How can I help you? I can't find my pen.
Oh, sorry, you mean those? I was.
Oh no, I thought you meant the Nazgul.
Yeah,
they were tedious as well.
Yeah, I just think they were unnecessary.
They were unnecessary.
They were scary the first time you see them. You go in the house. There's one colour lurking behind the doorway.
Yeah, and then something just appears. It's like,
after that, it's you
hear the noise.
Oh, great, gene stealers.
Yeah. But
then I ran around as a cat for 40 minutes because I got lost.
And then, fuck it, cat. Why not?
No, I think
then suddenly I played L.A. Noire again.
That was a game that told a nice story. But
Yeah. I think it was perfectly. Again, that's one of those like.
It would have better have been just being a point and click adventure.
Yes,
rather than being trying to do things it shouldn't have done.
I found myself bouncing between the different
Yeah.
bolt holes in a desperate attempt to get past.
The stealthy ghosts.
Face. It was really annoying.
Yeah. In terms of what I'm playing right now that I really like, I don't mention them much, but we've talked about before how I like to have I play football games, but I don't pay full price for them.
Yeah.
I'm the same with driving games as well. I've just got the new Forza, and it's fucking superb.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive car person. I know next to nothing about cars. It's number 6, yeah, it's stunning to look at. It's really smooth.
I hate racing games, so I don't tend to buy them.
Yeah, one of the things I like about it is if you're somebody like me who's not fantastic at them, you've got customized difficulty things. Like you can have a race line that tells you when you're running at good speed, when you should start braking, when you definitely need to brake, and things like that. You can have assisted steering, you can have traction control, that stuff to stop you from sort of skidding out and flipping. It doesn't always work, because there's a few clips in my game library that will show you. But in terms of game-wise, I think it's just fucking excellent. The career stuff's always really good. Like they give you a good range of things where you try out a different range of different styles of cars and stuff, and that respect it's all really good. I'm also playing Rocket League and Rogue Legacy still, because I still haven't finished fucking Rogue Legacy.
Rocket League's a nice couch party game.
So much fun to play with Crouch, especially when his girlfriend plays, because she's fucking awful. It's hilarious. All she had to do in that game we played, when I hit a shot from the other end of the pitch, all she had to do was stay stock still, and it would have just bounced off her windscreen, and she just went, huh? And he just went, what the fuck are you doing? She just cracks up laughing, because that's exactly what she did. Yep. Trolling Crouch. Look for our new show, Trolling Crouch.
I'd listen to that.
Yeah, I'd
no, it's a good
we'd produce it.
We would.
Towerfall and Nidhogg are great for parties.
They are good,
I fucking love Nidhogg.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Oh, okay. That's the other one. I did start playing something which I thought was really good, but I've had to give it up because it's just fucking impossible. Metro 2033.
I've heard the name, but
it's based on a book.
That is one I've been on again, off again for quite some time, but I will sit down.
I've just got to a bit.
Play with Cap.
I've just got to a bit where I can't physically see how I'm supposed to get forwards, because there's enemies where I need there to be nobody, and they don't move and they don't sneak, and you walk straight past, and even if you're in sort of dim light, they see you really quickly and stuff. It's just I can't see a way forwards, so I've kind of shelved that. So I'm playing Forza on my Xbox One. I tend to have one game on the go on all my different consoles. Arkham Origins on PS3. They're not I don't think they'd be Game of the Year ones if I finished. If I had to choose, let me see. I would probably say if I had to choose the game I liked best that I finished this year, it would probably be Shadow of Mordor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly closely followed by
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg's great. Well, I'd probably say Wolfenstein's up there as well. Okay. I really like that game.
Yeah, as I said in my article,
laser space
at the end of last year, those were one of the two top games. I think.
Anything with the words laser, space, and Nazis in the same game is probably going to be fun.
Yeah,
and sure enough, it is.
Let's make a game of Iron Sky then.
All right.
Yeah. I love that. I think I've named my top 3 really pretty much. Not necessarily in any order, but Batman, Bloodborne, and Metal Gear probably top 3 at the moment.
Cool. Brad?
What?
Uprising?
Uprising, yeah. Video games wise, best.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Or Nidhogg.
Nidhogg, yeah. Like I say, it is great fun.
If Nidhogg had lightsabers.
Oh, blimey, that's DLC for you.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Nidhogg developer, that is going to be on Mr. and Mr. Hogg.
Messerhoff, I think they're called.
Messerhoff.
Something like that.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some. Yeah.
Yeah. Some marriage of fighter plane and Baywatch actor.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what you learned.
Yeah. Well, on that note, cool. Yeah. So if you've enjoyed the show, you can interact with us on emotionally14.com, emotionally 14 digits. You can find our podcast on iTunes along with the sister podcast, The Crazy Train. We're also on YouTube. You can find us on youtube.com/c/emotionally14 because they got that stupid channel thing. If you want to email us, you can email us at podcast@emotionally14.com. We're at emotionally14 on Twitter. You can tweet us there. Find Facebook at emotionally14. I'm at Rob Wade Vision on Twitter. Blake's at fuck's sake Blake, but he's already uninstalled the app, so that'd be hilarious anyway. Brad's at brad.harmerbarnes.
I'll do the top 3 board games if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, top 3 board games for this year: Star Wars Imperial Assault, Eldritch Horror, and Tiger Leader.
Yeah, okay, cool. Eldritch Horror actually is a really
It's
fun
Lovecraft Fruit Machine, I love it.
And obviously episode 8 of the GameCast is us playing that game, so look for that.
Yeah.
Imperial Assault, I played that the other day for the first time, and that was fucking amazing.
It's really
Imperial
fun.
Assault's great. It's basically Star Wars Descent, which is exactly what you want.
Star Wars Heroclix if you're playing the
Skirmish
game.
Yeah.
Which, surprisingly I won, which is weird. Usually me, Heroclix, and win doesn't go together.
Obviously you need the Star Wars element.
Clearly. Yeah. Well, I've ordered the Darth Vader, so except no customs at the next game. Well. Anyway, so you can find Brad at brad.harmerbarnes on Instagram.
Yep.
Look for it to be the hyphenated or non-hyphenated by the time this goes live.
This is non-hyphenated at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. So as of time of recording, it's non-hyphenated, but that may change.
5 years ago.
5 years.
Well, emotionally 19.
And that's the one, isn't it? Fuck's Sake Blake.
You done that one.
Okay.
Brad writes wargaming and history stuff at suppressing-fire.com.
Yep. That one's got a hyphen.
Sorry?
That one's got a hyphen.
That one stays hyphenated. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Bibbidi boop bye.